I lost my best friend messing around with the Haitian Vodou bizango. You know, my man, you know, his aunt, straight Mambo, high priestess, you know, a sagwe, they say, the highest level, they say. You know, I'm messing around with them. And I mean, you know, we was young, we was in our 20s, and we was from the street. So, you know, this lady, this Haitian lady, you know, she tried to, you know, take us and she turned us into something we didn't even understand. You know, had us doing all kinds of shit, man. You know, I lost a lot of good people in this situation. You know, my boy Matthew Marin. You know what I mean? This was my man. You know, and he went out. You know, one day went and shot a soldier, blew his brains out. Man, this was voodoo shit. Niggas was on. Real talk. Yeah, when we was training back in them days, it was serious. She wanted us, she told us that, you know, the key to great power is human sacrifice. She said you gotta sacrifice people if you're gonna get power. She taught us the spirits to call for power. You know what I mean? Spirits that definitely accept human sacrifice. You know what I mean? Dantor, she accepts it. Marinette, she accepts it. Calvu, they accept these things. These are spirits that they call for human blood. You know what I mean? She taught us there's 3 types of people that they find the most viable. You know what I mean? The murder game, you know, there's a science to that. That is a magic in and of itself. There are things that happen when somebody gets killed. There are metaphysical things that matter, that happens to you and that happens to the victim. It's a science to the murder. You know what I mean? It's a science to it. It's a whole magic to it. She taught us the science. The game was real. Yeah, that lady wanted us to get the power fast because she wanted us to start the revolution here. I mean, this wasn't no opinionated shit. At first, I thought it was a joke too. I just was after the power she had. But when it got going, I started seeing. We start, you know, establishing connects, establishing contacts with large groups of people. You know, I mean, this was an international situation in and of itself because the one who was leading it was from the islands. So, you know, and I'm talking, we had access to, you know, mobs of people, significant groups of people that I was sent to infiltrate, to be able to get in the minds of the leaders, to be able to make shit happen. You know what I mean? They wanted this country to fall. They still want it to fall. You know what I mean? But not for the right reasons, like you would think. Nevertheless, they wanted to fall. So yeah, you know, the game, they taught us all kinds of shit when it came to the murder game. My Mambo, my high priestess of Sagwe, she wanted me and 2 other men to lead the revolution and knock over the country. She said, knock over America specifically, she said that 15 years before we met her, Voodoo spirits had came to her and told her that they had found 3 individuals who had the proper astrological and general metaphysical correspondences. It was very scientific how it was explained to us, but I'll just say the right metaphysical characteristics and correspondences, and that we were actually the only ones that they had found that could wage a revolution against America and win. You know, and our job was to create an army in order to do this. And we began this. This operation, and it got kind of far before it ended. And it's not unusual. Voodoo spirits, the very first kingdom of voodoo spirits in Dahomey, West Africa, they were that's how they got in there. They caused a revolution there that knocked over the government of Dahomey, and then they were installed under the woman that they used to knock over the country, a woman named Hawaii. And then it went to Haiti, because people were sold off to Haiti right after that. And then it went to Haiti, and they began to, and they helped start a revolution. They had a lot of help with that one. They couldn't have did it by themselves, but they helped start a revolution over there. You know what I mean? So for them to look over here, ain't no surprise, that at some point that they would try, but they did try. The voodoo spirits were serious about this war, about this revolution against America. Once I was notified by the high priestess that this is what they wanted from us, at the time we're like, sure, why not? What the hell do we care? We knew enough at that time to be, to know, the reason behind it. It wouldn't have been the first time. America had a revolution itself when they felt that England was being was doing what they was doing. A lot of places had to have revolutions when they felt that places got corrupt. And the truth is in the eyes of the beholder when it comes to who's right, who's wrong, whatever. But anyway, we didn't care. So we're like, sure, we'll do it. And once it began, and I was to be the leader because I was the oldest one of us, and they told us that. And every night after that, a voodoo spirit, somebody usually would notify himself, like mainly Ogun Farai. He would come to my dreams and train me in some strange way. Every night every dream I would have to be making some decision about, what's the best way to kill this guy, or how do I survive this fight, or where do I stab this guy, or how do I even die honorably if the shit comes down to it. You know what I mean? Like, how do I ensure that, when it's my time, I go out, with dignity. But there was a lot of dreams. They focused on a lot of stuff. Some was militant, some was military-ish, some was, hand-to-hand combat. But most of it was psychological decision-making, making the right decisions when the heat is on. That's what most of the dreams was about. But the war was the theme from beginning to end. You know what I mean? Ogun Badagry, you know what I mean? It was a lot of them that was involved. And they always were coming every day on a constant basis. They were serious about their war. She was my Mambo. She was so serious about her and her Voodoo Spirits revolution that, she always said that, we're going to have an army, you know what I mean? We're going to have to build it from the ground up, basically start with, so a few thousand, and that few thousand will make the rest, And where she wanted to get the 2,000 from was the Blood Street Gang, the Bloods. She said that Ogun is the god of the Bloods. She basically implied that he created it. And then he told me himself that he is the godfather, the true godfather of the Blood Street Gang. And he said that when you look at the first two words of the leaders of the Bloods, they call them OG. Ogun's name starts with OG. You hear Ogun in the way the G-U-N is pronounced, and his name is Goon. And Bloods called, people goons, or their brothers goons. Blood's color is red. His favorite color is red. Bloods are about, war, beef, battling, fighting. That's what, Ogun does. So he says that he's the spirit of the Bloods, the KA the Bloods. And so she had me infiltrated. She had me get deep on the inside, meet the right people who really had control of the thousands of people. And surprisingly, I seen the spirits work in action. I was meeting everybody. I mean, some of the highest ones across the country, you know what I mean, in no time. Some of the highest, but who, the point was, the ones who had the most amount of people who would listen to them, you know. And I had these guys, you know. I was there, you know. Before the end of it, we probably had we had thousands. We had access to thousands of people who would have rolled out, you know, if shit, you know, went how it was supposed to go according to their plan.